Just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First, I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, or even thought that it was even. I thought I was like the only one left. I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes, and sizes. Literally African American women. Like a room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. Like, this has to be like assimilation. Is that the word I want to use? I think so. Like, I'm confused and I'm like low key, like nervous, like for us. Well, shit for myself, fuck y'all. Because where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. Don't. We know where they at. Bye.
Singles night at church is a red flag. Men home enjoying their peace. Men are enjoying peace and solitude. We are embracing financial celibacy. Men go where the respect is, where peace is. That's more to life than being tied to a quarrelsome person. Men have learned that beautiful women does not mean nice women or kind women or understanding women. It just means beautiful. With all the evidence, you still can't make them see where the problem is. It's literally mind-boggling. They'll never get it. Completely embarrassing. They will go to the grave before they hold themselves accountable. This is why they never had rights.
Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out?
And that's what I mean by delusion. That's what I mean by delusion. That's why a lot of you are still single. That's why y'all be getting cheated on. Because you refuse this guy who asked you out properly because he ain't that cute. Yeah, you're gonna go out with the fucking bum who probably has like a six-pack, got no fucking job, ends up cheating on you. Then you complain that all men is shit, right? And then you talk about how men need to love women no matter what, how they look, how they act. You need to love them. Some of y'all need to get the fuck out of this delusion, honestly, and grow the fuck up and get rid of that nasty ass entitlement that y'all have. This shit is sickening.
Talking about him like he's not human. It was the disrespectful description she gave, even though he approached her with respect and asked her respectfully.
I'm fucking telling you, don't ever date an avoidant. Don't do it.
There's no such thing as being avoidant. You're just not a priority to them. I know it hurts, but it is what it is. Not just a priority, but non-existent.
Okay, I'm gonna need all the single men over 30 to come to the front. Come to the front, sit in the front, because I have questions. What will it take for single men over 30 to attend a singles event? What will it take? I wanna know. The girlies wanna know because where were you? Where were you? So let me backtrack. Let me just say the event itself, well done. It was really well organized. Shout out to the church that hosted this event. Really well done. The mood, the vibe was good. It was moody, it was dark. They had like nice decor. They had good appetizers, good food. It was great. And great turnout. It was a good turnout. At least 50, 60, 70 people in the room. It was great. So overall, I will give the event itself like a 7 out of 10 in organization and like just the whole thing. Now, again, I went with my girl Sharon because this is what we do. We get in, right? We get in and sign up, put your name and age on your name tag, and then you can go mingle. Started with bingo, icebreaker bingo, great. Then we get to now the host starts talking and like, okay, we're gonna play some games, this or that. If you're on that side, you go left. If you're on this side, you go right. Whatever. So we're playing some game. Here's my issue. There was no one to talk to for me. So since everyone has a name tag, you know, you're looking at everybody's name tag, you're looking at everybody's ages, and I see someone, okay, cute, 24. Someone else, okay, cute, 26. Someone else, okay, not cute, but 21. Yeah. What? what do we do? So now I'm telling Sharon, I'm like, I don't really want to talk to anybody. Like, I don't have the capacity to hold a conversation with someone that I know is younger than me and that it's not going to go anywhere. So I just we literally stood there and made our way to the appetizer table, like literally the entire night. I think we ate half of the food that was there. And then at some point, we were like, that's it. At some point, this cute guy walks in. He is chiseled, beard, like tall, over 6 feet. He looks very good, handsome dude. And we're like, okay, let's go see how old he is. And we casually walk by him, trying to be all subtle, and I get a glimpse of his name tag. 28. I was like, okay, now what? So now we're literally looking at the door, trying to wait for other men to walk in, something. I even spoke to this girl who was there she was there as a wing woman, and I'm like, please find me somebody in this room that you can see that is over 30. She said, okay, I'll come back, I'll look and I'll come back to you. Girl never came back. So, and that was it. I'm telling you, I need to know, what will it take for a man in his 30s to come to one of these events? Because there was even women in there that were so cute, like that were 37, 35, 39. And they just sat down. Like, they were literally sitting at one of the tables, and that was the rest of their time. They were just sitting down. So, I'm sure they all felt the same way. So to the men, I want to know how you prefer to meet women, and what don't you like about singles events? Why is it a thing that we just know that men will not show up? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. So please, for the girlies, we are all wondering. This is a collective. What is it? What is it? It's crazy because I'm looking around the room, and there's like a few men. Obviously, there was more women than men. And I'm looking around the room, and there's also, honestly, beautiful, dope-looking women. And I'm like, these men are so lucky. It must be nice to be you. It must be nice to be you, because they had so many choices, so many options. I'm looking at their age group. There was from like 21 to 39, and everything in between. Y'all have so many options. Like, it must be nice to be a man in this world. And I'm looking at, and all the girls are gathering around together, talking about how, like, I don't know who to talk to. So I'm just trying to understand, and I know that I'm not alone in this. So overall, that was the experience.
You don't want under 30. We don't want over 30. That's the problem. Why would we attend a singles event organized by people who don't care what we want? 1. Women have nothing to lose in those events because it's a platform where they expect to be courted. 2. Women will not give you the time of day if you don't meet their standards, e.g., this lady rejected attractive men at the event simply because they are younger. 3. Women don't really respect dudes who go to these events. If he's there, he probably doesn't get action from women in the real world. If he is attractive, then he's probably DL, according to women. You can't win. 4. Any self-respecting man with pride would not go there. You can't orchestrate real chemistry, real connection by hosting an event. We approach in real life.
Okay, I have to address these comments, like this one. To be honest, I have learned a lot in my comment section. I didn't know, I've never thought about the perspective of a man going to one of these events, honestly, like, and that was a genuine question. Me asking, what do men look for? Why don't they want to go to these events? I really wanted to know. And I think from these comments, I really got good insight on, why they don't go, what makes them stay away from them, how do they actually feel about singles mixers, and it's so interesting. And based on what this person said, honestly, I kind of have to agree. I think there's a lot of pressure for men sometimes to just be in a room full of women that just judge them. I think even when, obviously me going to one of these singles events, I see men that just aren't my type, right? And I'm not going to approach them. I'm not even going to look their way. And then meanwhile, they have a bunch of women, but if they don't look a certain way, or they're not up to par to what women, our standards, then no one's going to approach them. So I do feel sometimes they do have a lot of pressure. and I understand why they don't want to go to these events. But based on these responses, I think I'm gonna retire these singles events. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just go back to meeting people in the wild. And yeah, I don't think there's ever gonna really be value in it based on what I'm looking for. I think it's gonna be really hard. So thank you guys for the insight. It was really eye-opening, and I'm just gonna go back to the streets respectfully, the godly streets.
Guys understand that going to singles events is kinda desperate. Everyone is judgmental, hurt, and trying to outdo their last mistake. It's a state of wanting, which isn't leading to a good relationship. People need to be in the mindset of giving, and you don't get that from people who have wallowed in their singleness. First off, consider the risk-reward equation that most men run in their heads. We're wired evolutionarily and culturally to weigh outcomes pretty pragmatically. Singles events often come with an entry fee, time commitment, and the need to dress up or prepare small talk. But what's the payoff? In many cases, the gender ratio skews heavily female. I've seen stats from event organizers, and yeah, I've poked around on this out of curiosity, showing 60 to 70% women at these things, sometimes even higher. That means for every guy who shows, he's potentially competing with a smaller pool but under brighter spotlights. For example, more pressure to stand out, more chances for awkward rejections in a room full of observers. It's not that men fear rejection, we deal with it plenty in other arenas, but why opt for a setup that amplifies it when alternatives feel less exposed? Online apps let you swipe from your couch, gauge interest via messages, and bail without the whole room knowing. It's lower stakes, higher control. Then there's the perception angle, which ties into male ego and social signaling. Attending a singles event can feel like admitting defeat in the natural dating game, like you're resorting to a structured intervention because organic connections aren't happening. Men in general are conditioned to project self-sufficiency and casual confidence, and that means showing up to an event labeled for singles might undercut that. It's not desperation per se, but it broadcasts a need that many guys prefer to keep private. Think about it. In hobbies, work, or social circles, meetings happen incidentally without the overt label. A guy might join a hiking group or trivia night and meet someone there, framing it as just living life rather than hunting for a date. Singles events strip away that plausible deniability, making the whole thing feel contrived. And let's be real, pop culture doesn't help. Movies and shows often portray these events as cringe or filled with oddballs, which sticks in the subconscious. Social dynamics play a huge role too, and this is where it gets interesting from a behavioral standpoint. Men tend to approach dating with a hunter-gatherer mindset. Not to go all evolutionary psych on you, but it's a lens that fits. We initiate more often, which means we're scanning for environments where the odds favor success. At singles events, the setup can feel performative by having timed conversations, forced icebreakers, everyone sizing each other up like it's a job fair. For a lot of guys, that drains the authenticity out of it. We'd rather build rapport in a bar, gym, or mutual friends party where conversations flow organically and you can read vibes without a buzzer going off. Plus, there's the subtle power imbalance. Women at these events often hold more cards because of the ratio, which can make men feel like they're auditioning rather than connecting. It's not about being shallow or avoiding commitment, but it's about preferring setups where mutual interest feels genuine, not gamified. Economically and logistically, it stacks up poorly too. Time is currency, and many men are juggling careers, side hustles, or personal growth that leaves little bandwidth for events that might not yield results. If you've got a demanding job, why spend an evening in a potentially fruitless mixer when you could network professionally or unwind with friends? And cost-wise, tickets aren't cheap, $20 to $50 a pop, plus drinks or travel. And if the last few tries flopped, it's easy to write it off as a bad investment. Contrast that with free or low-cost apps where you can multitask dates around your schedule. All that said, it's not hopeless or one-sided. Some men do show up, and I mean the confident ones, or those who've had success before. And events tailored to specific interests like wine tasting or adventure themes tend to draw better balances because they mask the singles label under shared passions. If I were advising guys, or even myself, I'd say rethink the framing. Treat it as skill building and social navigation, not a make or break hunt. But until organizers address the ratios, stigma, and structure, the turnout will stay lopsided. What do you think? Does this ring true from your side, or have you noticed other patterns? I'd love to hear your take because this stuff fascinates me as a puzzle of human behavior.
I went to my first ever dating event in downtown Toronto. I am still super single. I did not even get so much as a date out of it, although the owner of the bar seems to think I did. I gotta talk to her about that because I did not. I will say it was actually a lot of fun. A lot of really great girls and like some guys that I could see myself wanting to be like friends with. Nobody that I felt anything more than that for. I will say it was definitely uneven with the really attractive, really cool girls, and the counterparts weren't quite up to that same standard in my opinion. It was a fun night and I would definitely do it again. I would say push yourselves, get out there, go do it, because like I never thought I would do something like that and I had a lot of fun. Bring a single friend with you. Hell, bring me with you if you need to, because I definitely could not have done that alone. I will say that. So yeah, well, this one was not a success for me. If anybody knows of any cool, fun singles or dating events coming up, honestly, let me know.
Most high-value men are working or at the gym, not at single dating events.
If singles events haven't worked for you, it's probably not your personality, it's your strategy. If you walk into any open floor singles event, you're going to see the same thing. Single guys beelining for the most attractive girl they see and small talking their way into a "I don't feel any spark" conversation. Nope. That move kills attraction before you even open your mouth. Not because she's out of your league, but because you made yourself too predictable. Because attraction for women doesn't come from immediate pursuit. It comes from curiosity. So here's what actually works. At your next singles event, when you walk in, don't immediately go for the women. And don't stand awkwardly in the corner waiting for some in that you're never going to get. You're going to start by chumming it up with the guys. The whole idea is you have to build familiarity. So learn the guys' names, say it back to them, have them say your name back to you as you move about the cabin. Women will take notice. Then talk to the open, fun women in the room. Why? Because energy spreads and you'll be creating a buzz for being the social connector. Only then do you approach the women that you're actually attracted to. Except now it's going to be a hell of a lot easier. Because at that point, you're no longer just another guy. Because all those other guys will have burnt themselves out talking to the girls in the first half of the night. But you'll be warmed up. People will know your name. Do this and you'll go from a 5 to an 8 real quick, since you'll be socially vetted and you'll have created curiosity without saying a single word. This is the kind of real world calibration that I coach men on. So DM me the word spark to get my full course on creating chemistry in real life. And I hope this was helpful.
Guys have a significantly harder time dating than girls. Social openness and approachability. Dating standards and criteria imbalance. Disproportionate rejection and emotional impact. One-sided societal support systems. Online dating and visibility gaps. Initiation burden and performance pressure. Double standards and self-improvement expectations. Unreciprocated emotional effort. Unreciprocated messaging trends, aka girls ghosting guys. Female social validation of many sorts, but oftentimes even for voluntary wrongs and struggles. Imbalance of risk versus reward. Confusion around cultural shifts and unrealistic narratives. Valuing the guy for what he provides, and oftentimes not who he is.
We are, 10 minutes away from starting. There's so many more men. There are so many men. I literally thought we had a problem with no men. But there's so many. We need girls, guys. We need a miracle. Pray that more girls show up. Seriously, I'm stressed. I'm so happy you're here. Janelle, we're literally gonna have to date this time because Janelle. I'm not ready. Janelle.
See if these girls find. Okay, I'll go find. Please, is she here? Are you a part of? No, you're not part of our event. She's not part of our event.
I'm Janelle. This is Brooke, and we run Craft and Crush. Let's have an honest conversation right now. We had even numbers this morning at 10 a.m. and then we just had, anyway, we're just going to work until we have a lot of guys here tonight. Guys, we love when we have more men. So thank you for showing up for us. We really appreciate it. Brooke and I we're going to be running this and we're going to be sitting down. So it's your lucky night. Yeah.
Got in there and we dated and now we know what it's like to be on the other side of not just hosting, but now we dated.
Success.
And we were only 3 girls short, so it worked out.
Great night.
An attractive girl does not need an event or app to meet people. It's always those who are struggling, not those who are top tier, that go to these events.